Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. 10 years from now, you wake up one morning, look at your life, and realize nothing truly changed. Same level, same struggles, same unfulfilled potential. Not because you lack talent, not because you weren't intelligent, but because, slowly and silently, you became exactly like everyone else. A thought should make you uncomfortable. Good. Stay with that feeling because this video is about a truth most people will never confront, and that's precisely why most people will never be exceptional. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Being exceptional is not rare because it's impossible. It's rare because it's deeply inconvenient. It demands sacrifices most people are not willing to make, habits most people refuse to build, and mental discomfort most people run from their entire lives. From the outside, exceptionality looks glamorous. We admire successful people, thinkers, leaders, creators, athletes, innovators. We assume they have something special, some secret ingredient we don't. But when you strip away the myths, you discover something far more disturbing. The gap between ordinary and exceptional is mostly created by choices that anyone could make, but almost no one does. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up reacting instead of choosing. They check their phones before they check their thoughts. They consume before they create. They complain before they reflect. Days blur into weeks, weeks into years, and suddenly life feels like something that happened to them rather than something they shaped. Exceptional people live differently. Not louder, not flashier, differently. The first reason most people will never be exceptional is because they confuse comfort with happiness. Comfort feels good in the moment. It feels safe, predictable, warm. But comfort is also where ambition goes to die. Growth does not negotiate with comfort. The moment you choose what feels easy over what feels meaningful, you quietly vote against your own potential. Most people avoid discomfort like it's a threat. They avoid difficult conversations, difficult work, difficult truths. They want progress without pain, rewards without struggle, confidence without failure. But that version of life doesn't exist. Every exceptional outcome is born from repeated discomfort that most people quit too early to experience. Think about how many dreams die not because of failure, but because of boredom. The boredom of repetition, the boredom of slow progress, the boredom of showing up when no one is watching. Most people don't fail dramatically, they fade quietly. Another reason most people will never be exceptional is because they outsource their thinking. They let trends decide their values. They let social media decide their priorities. They let society decide their definition of success. They follow scripts written by people who don't know them, don't understand them, and won't live with the consequences of their choices. Exceptional people think independently, not rebelliously for attention, but intentionally. They question what most people accept. They ask uncomfortable questions like, is this actually what I want, or just what I was told to want? Is this belief helping me grow or helping me stay small? Am I busy or am I effective? Independent thinking is lonely. That's why most people avoid it. It's easier to agree, easier to blend in, easier to be liked than to be right. But blending in is the fastest way to become invisible to your own potential. Most people also misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is punishment, restriction, misery, so they resist it. In reality, discipline is freedom. It's choosing long-term self-respect over short-term pleasure. It's deciding once instead of negotiating with yourself every day. Exceptional people don't rely on motivation. Motivation is emotional, temporary. Discipline is structural. It shows up whether you feel inspired or not. Most people wait to feel ready. Exceptional people start while feeling unready. And this is critical. Most people are addicted to distraction, endless scrolling, constant notifications, entertainment on demand, noise everywhere. Silence feels uncomfortable because silence forces self-awareness, and self-awareness forces responsibility. When you remove distraction, you're left alone with your thoughts, your regrets, your unrealized potential. Most people would rather stay distracted than face that mirror. Exceptional people do the opposite. They seek clarity. They protect their attention like it's their most valuable asset, because it is. Attention determines direction. Direction determines destiny. Another hard truth, most people are emotionally reactive. They let their mood decide their behavior. If they feel tired, they quit. If they feel criticized, they retreat. If they feel afraid, they freeze. Their life is a series of emotional reactions rather than deliberate actions. Exceptional people feel the same emotions: fear, doubt, insecurity. The difference is they don't let those emotions drive the car. They acknowledge them and move forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear. Most people also avoid responsibility at a deep level, not openly, but subtly. They blame circumstances, the economy, their past, their parents, their lack of resources. Responsibility feels heavy, but responsibility is also power. The moment you fully accept responsibility for your life, you gain the ability to change it. Exceptional people don't ask, "Whose fault is this?" They ask, "What can I control here?" And here's a truth that stings. Most people want the image of being exceptional, not the process of becoming exceptional. They want recognition without obscurity, success without struggle, confidence without competence. They compare their behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel and then feel discouraged. Exceptional people fall in love with the process, the practice, the repetition, the quiet improvement no one applauds. They understand that mastery is built in private long before it's rewarded in public. Most people quit too early, not because they can't succeed, but because they can't tolerate being bad at something long enough to become good at it. Their ego demands immediate validation. Exceptional people are willing to look foolish temporarily to become formidable permanently. Another reason most people will never be exceptional is because they never define what exceptional means to them. They chase vague success. Vague goals produce vague effort. Exceptional people are precise. They know what they're building, why they're building it, and what they're willing to sacrifice for it. Clarity creates commitment. Ambiguity creates excuses. Most people are also afraid of being misunderstood. They want approval from everyone, but approval is expensive. It costs authenticity. Exceptional people accept that not everyone will understand them. Some will doubt them. Some will criticize them. Some will project their own limitations onto them. Being exceptional requires a thick skin and a soft heart. You must be open to learning but closed to negativity that doesn't serve growth. And perhaps the biggest reason most people will never be exceptional is this: they underestimate time. They either think success should be fast or they think it's too late. Both beliefs are lies. Time is either your greatest enemy or your greatest ally, depending on how you use it. Exceptional people play the long game. They compound habits, knowledge, skills, relationships. They don't panic when progress is slow. They trust accumulation. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Here's the most important part. None of this means you are doomed to be ordinary. It means exceptionality is a choice made daily, quietly, repeatedly.